Welcome to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. My name is Claire Hill, self-belief and business coach and founder of the Vivid Business Club. You know me. You've been here around. Been here around? You've been around here a little while. Before I continue with this very valuable and powerful mini podcast all about how to prioritize your CEO time and grow, scale your business with that CEO time, have you followed or subscribed to this podcast wherever you listen? Doing that is just basically giving me a high five, a thumbs up, saying, Claire, I love what you're doing with this podcast. I love the value. I can't believe it's free and you give this all to us. I am going to show my appreciation by following or subscribing. So wherever you're listening, go hit that follow or subscribe box. Tick. I just hit that button. That's what I was looking for, button. So I want to tell you about Jo in this episode. Jo came to me. She's a Vivid Business Club member, and I did support her a little bit with one-to-one support. Now, Jo has an amazing business. She is a jewellery designer or jeweller, specialising in silversmith, recycled silver. I'm saying silversmith like I know what that means. I don't. She works with a lot of silver. Most of it, if not all of it, is recycled silver, and she works with recycled gold. So obviously a lovely sustainable business, as well as she also uses surfite, which is like, it's like gemstones made from the waste that is created when they make surfboards. There is a better way to describe it. Now, when Jo started working with me, she didn't prioritize CEO time. Now, what I mean by CEO time is there was a level of strategy involved with growing and scaling a business. Strategy is all about how you are going to do something. A plan is doing the things on the strategy. So if you were thinking, how am I going to grow my audience on Instagram? I will create content that is about visibility, top of funnel content that supports people coming into my world, attracting them in. This can be made up from reels or potentially guests on podcasts, etc. Right? So that would be the strategy to increasing your visibility, or one part of it. The plan comes when you say, okay, so what is the topics, the pillars associated with this content? How often am I going to post that content? What time am I going to do it? What content am I going to post on what day? That becomes the plan for the strategy. Without a plan, a strategy can't happen. When you are in CEO mode, that is when you are putting the strategy in place. You are asking yourself, what is your focus? What do you want to achieve this month, this third, as we say in the Vivid Business Club? What do you, or quarter if you're in the old planning of business, what do you want to achieve? What is your focus? Without having time to think deeply and clearly to get the clarity you need to build that strategy, you won't be able to execute a plan. The plan isn't going to make sense. It's like the strategy. And I talk a lot about this, about anchors. The strategy is the anchor you create to attach the plan to. Now, Jo wanted to scale her business and create more revenue. And I just want to say that through prioritizing her CEO time, she was able to increase her revenue by almost 20% in 1 year. I don't think that was a whole year of prioritizing her CEO time as well. I think that was only 6 months of it when she looked at the financial years. How incredible is that? Increased by 20%. How did I give her the tools in order for her to prioritize that? I had to show her the value of CEO time. Now, there's a brilliant resource that I've created. If you're listening to this podcast, if you follow me on Instagram, go and message me. I am Claire Hill. That's my Instagram handle. And say to me, Claire, send me your CEO power plan, and I will send it straight to you. This plan enables you to see the benefit and the power and the value of all of the things that you can do for your CEO time, as well as create a checklist, because you're sitting there thinking, it's all well and good you telling me to prioritize CEO time, but what the frig do I do in it? Well, this resource helps you with that. What Jo began to do was separate her CEO time and block it out on Mondays. Once she saw the value of feeling prepared for the week ahead, she wasn't wasting energy thinking about doing last minute things. She was prepared. She was enabling her success by saying, right, this week I am selling or focusing on selling this, like earrings, for example. She would then create content, or at least do a skeleton plan for that content for the week ahead. Even better, once you get on into it, you can do a month, even 60 days ahead of time, when you start to get in the habit of blocking out this CEO time. She enabled herself to create content which sold her jewellery. That enabled her, again, on the CEO days, she was able to give some time to reviewing her prices. She found her profit margins were less on certain items because of the fluctuation of silver and gold that she used. So she was able to give herself that capacity to say, okay, what is the average profit margin that I'm going for? Now, I actually met with Jo because Jo is also doing my Dream Team Mastermind. I actually met with her yesterday and we went through what's the average profit margin that she wants to get to. When I started working with Jo as well, she did a lot of wholesale, and some of that wholesale wasn't serving her. And obviously profit margins are lower when you do wholesale. I'm not dissing wholesale, by the way, but focusing your traffic on your own website so that you increase your margins that way, and away from Etsy in some cases, if you're product based, is going to enable you to make more money. Because remember, revenue is vanity and profit is sanity. So we looked at her margins yesterday, but because she had dedicated that CEO time to really focusing on what price things should be, and should be, as in paying herself a proper wage that gives her a decent margin in order for her to grow and scale the business without burning out, that enabled her to spend the whole of a Friday doing joy stuff. And this is the best bit. Because she prioritizes her CEO time on a Monday, she only does orders on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's the only time she does orders. On a Friday, she makes what the bloody hell she likes. And actually, yesterday when we were looking at her human design, that's how she should work, in a instant, like impromptu, just off the cuff way, where an idea for being creative just comes to her and she can just make it. She does that on a Friday. And now she is launching every single month. She drops the joy stuff and it's made. And then she's got time to price it. And then she just sells it and she doesn't have to make it. It's just there from joy. But she's got more joy because she's the CEO stuff, the stuff that she was worrying about, finances, making sure her books were okay. She's on top of her books. She's on top of all of her admin. She's even now hired a VA, a virtual assistant, though I think she actually lives around the corner from her, to support her in her SEO growth on the website. So again, she's got that capacity to think, right, I want to increase traffic to my website. How can I do that? That is not a job that I need to do. I can hire someone to do that. The power of CEO time is incredible. So, in summary, I would love you to start blocking out some time to do this CEO stuff. If you are inside the Vivid Business Club, this is what Mondays are for. You can use that time in the Warrior Workspace, in our online co-working space, to just join the rest of the gang and get on with your CEO power plan. If you're not inside the Vivid Business Club, message me on Instagram. I am Claire Hill. That's my handle, all one word. Ask me, Claire, please send me your CEO power plan. And I'll say, yes, of course, baby, you go. Then you've got a checklist of all of the things that you can do in your business in order for it to grow, in order for you to value the CEO time. You won't be feeling guilty about doing that instead of other work anymore. You will understand that working on your business instead of just in will enable you to grow in lots of different ways, not just in revenue and profit. Now, before I go, the official sponsor of this podcast is Sleepy Club Sleepies. Now, I said this before, I've got to say that getting a good night's sleep is imperative for me to enable me to believe in myself in this really powerful way that I do, and allow me capacity to dim down the doubt. These Sleepy Club supplements to enable you to sleep deeper and for a full night's sleep are different to the other ones that you can get in Tesco's and Aldi don't do them, Sainsbury's, Boots, whatever, because these help you to sleep through the night. It's not about just drifting off. They help you stay asleep because, and I'm always about all the magnesium glycinate, but this has got some one that I can't say, some phosphate and Montmorency tart cherry. I am a big advocate for sleeping deep. I often wake in the night, and since starting this, I've been waking less, guys. I'm waking less. So go and check them out. You can get them from sleepyclub.co.uk, and you can get 15% off your first order by using the code VIVID15. Right, that's me for today. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And remember to come and message me on Instagram to get your free power plan. And if you fancy a binge on all of my free trainings, go and check out clarehill.uk/free stuff, where you can binge on all of it. Just have an afternoon of free teaching. What more could you want? Have a wonderful rest of your week wherever you are.